Hello and welcome to another episode of Chromatic Corner. I'm Owen Mulholland.
And I'm Ellie Aker.
So we're going to be reviewing Habit, as you can see right here. It's the debut EP from Snail Mail, which is a indie rock outfit.
Outfit?
Is that like a word people use?
It works.
Is it outlet?
No.
Or is it like...
I think outfit.
I think it's...
Outfit's the word.
I just have heard
it just
before.
was like, outfit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a band.
That's what you felt like
They play
saying
music.
today.
Yeah, I mean they play guitars and bass and drums. That's not funny. That wasn't a funny joke. That wasn't charming. So this is their debut. This is debut EP, and it came out 2016, and it's a charming little adventure through some lo-fi indie rock. I first listened to the first song on this album, Thinning. My dad's car. My dad would play it because he saw them open for Waxahachie back in the day, and he was very impressed. So he put Thinning on his playlist, and then I heard it, and I really liked that song a lot. And so then I never actually listened to this. I went straight to Lush, which is her debut LP, and like full length debut, and I like that a lot. I think that's a very, very solid album, like very tight, just really all around. And I think he has a very similar opinion on that.
Yeah, I think Lush is great. Yeah, my experience with Snail Mail, my good friend Evan, he recommended the album Lush to me one day.
I didn't know those.
And I listened to it during a lunch break in high school. And
Just Like Always?
I adored it. Yeah, Just Like Always. Another band I got into from same man. Also, first time listening to him was on a school lunch break.
Yeah. I didn't realize a lot of your music taste comes from Evan.
I just mined that man for album recommendations.
Yeah.
Owen, what are your top 3 songs from Habit?
I'm right into that. I mean, obviously, this is top one. You know, if we just start talking
Okay,
about
we
this
can.
one.
No, we'll stop. We'll start number 3. Both
Start
of
with
us.
number 3? Okay.
Work our ways up.
Number 3, I think, is probably... I'd probably put Dirt. Like Dirt.
Dirt.
I think Dirt as a song. It's just very... You know, it's a little bit more catchy, I feel like. I don't know. Something about it.
I would not say Dirt is catchy.
You don't think so?
I'm a little on the Dirt hate train.
You're on the Dirt hate train.
I'll be honest with you. I do like the outro line of maybe when I'm 30, I'll laugh about it or however it goes. Not super important. I found that to be a fun, charming little line, a little relatable. Other than that, I think it's really just more of the same in the worst way possible of this album.
I see. So would that be your like least favorite then?
Dirt, I am saying, is my least favorite.
Really? Yeah. No, I just like the seamless part. Like that you want to feel so seamless. I don't know, something about it, so just it kind of hits to some part of the album. I guess it's like a lot of the album in that aspect where it's like just the lyrics are a little less sharp than on Lush. Like I feel like she evolved into something that's a little more sharp. But in here it's a little more like vague, and it comes off in Habit as well. It's not something I can run my hand over. I mean it's talking about them being vague, but it's also just like in and of itself it's a little more ambiguous, which is interesting. I prefer the later style, obviously, of a little more sharp and a little more to the point, because I mean it's not like vague. It just it lacks imagery, but I feel like it hits well here. This even when it feels the same with. I don't know. I just like that song. I think it's a good hit on the album. I mean, it's just not a lot of songs to choose from on here. Honestly, it's just so it kind of lands in the top half. Because we're not including the second most beautiful girl in the world.
Why not?
That came later. That's like an added bonus track.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I mean, it sounds completely different. Developed I feel like that was from a re-release because it's the production's entirely different.
It's on the track list right here.
It's on the track list right here, but it's like
I'm counting it.
Later. You're counting it?
It's on the track list.
Okay, well that's the third.
Okay.
Because that's just a really solid cover. It has a lot tighter. I don't know. And obviously the song I prefer. I'd say that's probably the best song on the album, but that makes sense because it's coming from a more experienced songwriter. It's just a cover, but I think that's number 3. If I'm counting for like what this album plays too, that's gonna be my number 3 pick, because I would pick stuff that's more indicative of the album for my other ones.
I mean, it's in the album.
Well, I think you can see what I mean, though. It'd be weird having the cover be the number 1.
If that's the best, that's the best.
Okay, fine.
Anyways,
it's my number 1, but number 3 in heart.
Number 3 for me is gonna be Slug.
Yeah.
I like Slug. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I can see that opinion.
Fun in its own way.
Yeah. No, I like that one. I mean, I guess that one's probably a little more. It's not quite as catchy as some of the other ones of this album, but it's definitely one of the more like engaging ones. You know, I can see that. That's probably my like 4th or 5th. It's just, I mean, it's good songs on this
I think
album.
she sings well in it.
Yeah, because the singing is sometimes kind of interesting on this record.
Yeah, I like when she goes more yellish.
Yeah.
I think that's some of my favorite points on Lush, when she's yelling. And so she does that a little bit in Slug. She does it more so in Static Buzz, which I also like, but Slug's number 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting just as a whole, like, it's like her vocals are not as developed here as they were in, like, as they are in Lush. I guess it seemed like a Lush comparison, but I just think it's interesting how, like, it's a little less evolved, and it adds to an aesthetic, but it's also, because, like, the aesthetic is kind of, like, it makes it sound more youthful, a little more innocent, but also detracts from the album in terms of, like, its sound a little bit for me. Like, I think it's like, I can appreciate it, but it's also, like, would I like it more if the singing was a little better? Maybe I would. But sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't, which is what's interesting. So I guess it's just kind of a thing. My second is Static Buzz. I like that song a lot.
That's fair.
It's like I'm trying to, I don't know. It's just the whole thing. Sorry, give me a second. I mean, I like do you like the kind of like, it's kind of a little yelly at the end, right?
Yeah.
This one gets a little more yelly. Oh, you mentioned that, yeah. I like that part as well, and then all the lyrics, yeah, the other side. That kind of like a commentary here. But I don't know. I just like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I think that's a very solid one. My number 2 is gonna be Second Most Beautiful Girl in the World.
Yeah.
I think that one's just fun. It just goes. It rocks on. And it don't stop.
Yeah.
That's about what I have to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's coming from, like, Hole. Right? It's coming from Hole. Or...
No.
No?
No.
What's the song from?
Courtney Love, the band.
Courtney Love...
Not the singer, not the famous Courtney Love. The band is called...
The band's called Hole.
No, the band's called Courtney Love.
Really? I thought the band...
Hole is Courtney Love's band.
Hole is Courtney Love's band.
This is a band named Courtney Love.
So there's... Oh, okay. So it's a separate
yeah,
thing.
completely.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, it comes from Courtney Love. So it makes sense. Yeah. So then, I guess number 1. I feel like the both our number 1's gonna be the same. It's Thinning, right?
Yeah, Thinning's the best song on
it's pretty obvious. It's just what is, like, indicative of this whole album. It's like a song that I'll put on whenever I just want, like, a hit. If I just, like, I really want my go-tos. Because it's just, like, it's like if I'm driving, like, a short car ride and I just need, like, a car ride song, it's a really good car ride song.
It's a really great car ride song. This with the sunset in the windshield, oh my. Mwah.
Especially if I'm, like, have other people in the car.
Oh.
I'm just, like, because I feel like it's just so easy, it's so accessible, but it's also, like, it's such an aesthetic, you know what I mean? Cause
it's a vibe.
It's just, like, it's, like, some of the best... just like kind of garage soundy indie rock from the last like decade. You know what I mean? It's just a little more. It's like a little more lo-fi, but it's also like it's not harshly lo-fi. It's not like aggressively so. But it also has like the vocals are a little faded back, but they're also very much still like sharp, and the melody is very strong. It's just a good combination of a lot of things.
Yeah, it's just a very solid, straightforward. Honestly, it's just pure college rock.
Yeah. I just feel like nothing on this album really touches Thinning in my mind. I think that's part of the problem.
Thinning's
so
up
fast.
here. The rest of the album gets up to like here at best.
Yeah, like I mean, like I'll listen to Static Buzz on its own sometimes. I like Dirt, but like it's just like and Habit's fine. But there's just like some other like gripes I have with the album, and I think a lot of it's just like the band's developing at this point.
Yeah, like I find this this album, this EP as a whole, to be very, very melodramatic. In that it's dramatic how mellow it is through the entire thing, barring Thinning and the second most beautiful girl in the world. It's just kind of this soup of malaise.
Yeah.
It just is. It's slow.
It is slow because it's like almost like slowcore at some points, like which is interesting, just considering where the band would go. Is that it feels like it's outside of her vocals. It's just kind of like, which kind of peek over it. It's like a lot of slowcore kind of instrumentation. Like it's not snappy at all. When you're like the drumming, I mean, one of my favorite parts, and that's part of it, is like knowing where this band goes. It feels like I'm just waiting for it to get there. Like Thinning is like a peek at it, you know, the tighter drumming and stuff. But that's really like what I like about Snail Mail is the tighter drumming, the up tempo guitar licks and stuff. And also, I mean, I like the slower songs as well. Like it's like that's what I my go to Snail Mail stuff. It's just the snappy snares.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the album is like kind of lacking in that, but it's also its own thing, I admit. But it's yeah, that's the thing. And it's also like her guitar chops are not as developed as they feel on Lush either. Like it's like, and when you get to like,
I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a granted to just say everything's less developed than on Lush.
But I feel like that's another thing where it's like that's a big detractor from it, is that like some of the guitar parts you can very much like tell were written by like someone who's younger and less experienced, you know, like I mean, and that's something that has its charm. I mean, that's the same thing with the entirety of Cards the Headdress discography, is that everything feels like it's a little more amateurish, at least up until like maybe Madlow has a little more like guitar virtuoso stuff in like Teens of Denial, but it's still very much like indie rock, you know. Like kind of like easier stuff, you know, like and that's what feels like here, a lot of kind of strummy chords that definitely use interesting like chords and tunings and stuff, but it's a little less like precise as her guitar chops on the other thing. Like the solo on Thinning is really like melodically satisfying, but it's not super complicated. And then like the bit on Habit, the solo that ends Habit honestly kind of annoys me.
Yeah,
because it feels kind of out of place and like it's not developed well. I mean, I like Habit for the most part, but it's just the and I like how the song ends with that solo, but just the solo coming in, like the start of it just feels too like it feels a little by the numbers.
Okay. It's
like if you were just like guitar solo. I don't know if you can see what I mean there though.
I mean, that's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Do you disagree?
I disagree, but like, I just don't mind it.
Yeah, like it doesn't hit. I guess that's the point. Is it? I mean, it doesn't. Yeah.
You just really wanted it to hit.
I just really wanted it to hit, but it's just it wasn't like adventurous enough. It wasn't like a. Cause
I can get that. I feel like with all of Habit, that's when I'm listening to it. That's how I feel. Like I want it to hit. I want to like it, but I feel like it just never does for me.
Yeah, just not to the extent that it could. You know, and it's the same thing like with Stick, especially with Stick as a closer. If we're ignoring Second Most Beautiful Girl in the World, because that's another reason why I feel like we shouldn't even count it in this, is because it feels so separate from the rest of the album. You finish Stick and you're like, that's the end of the EP, and then it's like, here's this other song that's entirely different production, entirely different artist, pretty much. I don't know, but I feel like Stick. Without the added instrumentation and flourish from Lush, it feels a little bit flat. Like it feels like it points out that the melody and structure of the song just as a core is just a little bit weaker. And so without like the,
I wouldn't say it's like a weak song.
It's not weak, but it's just weaker. It's like it can't support being its own just like acoustic thing, because there's or not acoustic but like solo guitar thing, because you have something like anytime is a song where it feels like as a closer it supports itself, even though it does do a verse chorus structure. The nature of those feel a little like the verses and choruses feel a little more attuned to just the more solo guitar, like confessional kind of feel. Mm-hmm. It was along with the lyrics and stuff, but then just here it seems like there should be drums. And I don't know if that's just because I'm used to the other version, but I think that which might have an effect on it. But I just feel like it just doesn't evolve much outside of yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's evolving or going anywhere. It feels like it just kind of lasts.
Okay, I have a interesting little question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, if you jump back in time in Snail Mail's mind, okay, and you were picking one song from here to move over to Lush, right? We know she went with Stick. Was that the same move you'd go with?
I'd probably choose Static Buzz. Because Thinning, I feel like Thinning defines this album. You can't take it away from it. Like, if you took away Thinning from this EP, I don't think I'd ever listen to it. At least
there'd just be a better version.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still listen to it, but I mean, it's just like, I don't think it'd be as, like, it just would lose a lot of its identity, because I feel like this is, like, the Thinning EP with friends. which is harsh, but it's, like, I feel like that's true. I would take Static Buzz, because I feel like Static Buzz is, like, it fills a similar spot on Lush. You know, it's a little bit slower tempo, but I feel like as a song, it just is a little stronger. And it could do, I don't know, like, I've never, like, disliked Stick, but even on Lush, I still feel like Stick is one of the weaker songs. And I think it's just some of the teenage sentimentality thing doesn't do it to me, like the talking about your friends, you know, being like, or like being jealous of, what is it even about? It's like being jealous of friends, and or like why are you like prioritizing your friends or something? It's just like, it just feels a little low stakes. You know.
Sure.
Which I think it's melodramatic, and that's the thing of it. It's being really melodramatic about things that feel not that important. You know. It just doesn't sell it to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to let you talk.
I like Stick. I think she made the right move.
You think so? So I guess you would think she made the right move. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah. What about second most beautiful girl in the world? She should have covered it again. You know.
I don't think she needed to cover it again. I think it's perfect how it is.
No, I'm joking. Why would she put a cover in that smack dab in the middle of her like debut LP?
Because she felt like it.
That's true. I mean, Phoebe Bridgers ended her debut LP with a cover. Which you wouldn't know, because you don't listen to that, but...
I have not.
It's odd.
I've listened to her two actual albums.
Her debut... Yeah, you have. Stranger in the Alps.
Yeah, and Punisher.
Yeah, the ending of that is a cover of a Mark Cole's, Sun Kill Moon guy
Is
song.
it?
Yeah. Just weird. I mean, it sounds like it could be her, but, I mean, you can listen to it, and it does sound like it's written more in a slightly different style. I mean, I know you haven't listened to that much.
Yeah, not recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Punisher is better. He thinks Stranger in the Alps is better.
I think Stranger in the Alps is better.
It's because he's basic.
I don't think it's because I'm basic.
It's because you're... Isn't that's a basic opinion?
Is it?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the general consensus among TikTokers.
I don't know.
Because they like Scott Street. Because it's the popular one. They like Scott Street, and they like... What else do they like?
Motion Sickness.
Motion Sickness, you're right.
I have motion sickness.
No, Punisher's are stronger. Punisher has better flow. We're getting off topic.
We're getting so off topic.
Better flow. Better songs.
Better flow. Anyways.
Yeah. So we kind of talked through it. I don't know. Have we talked through the whole album?
And if you do,
I didn't say my least favorite song.
Oh yeah, my least favorite's Dirt. We kind of already said that.
Yeah. I think mine's Stick. To be honest, I know that it's just here. It's just, I think a lot of it's because there's a better version elsewhere. But just here, I'm listening to it. I'm just waiting for it to be over. I had fun. I had my fun with Dirt. I had my fun with Have and Static Buzz. You know, Slug went pretty catchy and fun, and then I just get to Stick, and I'm just like, I don't want to listen to you moan about your friends or your girls' crushes' friends. Your crush's friends.
I can't say I've really looked into like the meaning of the song all that much.
I mean, it's not.
I just like it.
I do like the part about the dishes, though. To be fair, like you can't wash this one clean. I mean, it's finishing thoughts, I guess. Before we round up with the score, I don't know. It's a vibe. It's like a piece you go to, and you're like, this is an interesting aesthetic. Thinning hits super hard.
Thinning,
and there's like occasional good spots. You know what I mean? But overall, it's pretty okay. It's pretty middle of the road. indie rock. It's just like you listen to it and you're like, yeah, that's indie rock.
Yeah, Thinning and Second Most Beautiful Girl in the World are the big takeaways from this.
Yeah.
They rise heavy above the rest of it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's almost similar. Hello. I think it's almost similar to like Big Thief debut, where you just listen to it and like it's good, but it's just like it's indie rock. You know what I mean? It's not like the heights they eventually reach. You know.
I mean, yeah, it's nothing like Lush, but
yeah,
I think it's good for what it is.
No, certainly, it's a.
I feel like if
there's a
you're
lot of promise.
Like this whole EP is really built around one specific vibe.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling that, if you're in that mood, this is gonna hit really hard.
Yeah.
I can't say it's one I usually feel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be listening to Thinning again.
Yeah. Every day. Not every day, but like my whole life, you know?
Yeah, lifelong song.
That's a lifelong song, Thinning. And it's impressive it came out here, you know what I mean?
It is. Honestly, if she stopped here,
Thinning would be a lifelong song.
Thinning would still be a lifelong. I was gonna say I'd be happy, but then I was like, no I really want Lush.
Like, why would you say? I could tell you're about to say that. I'm like, what are you even talking about?
It's just wrong.
Like you would, just be a one hit wonder, and it wouldn't be like a hit. It would just be like it would be like a little.
Point is, it's
gem.
good. It's a good little diamond in the rough.
Yeah, it's a vibe for when you need the vibe. So are you gonna do the countdown? I feel like now I feel like you're gonna give it a lower score than I am.
Oh, we're gonna do the countdown.
Wait, let me think for a second. I need to think about what score I'm gonna give.
Oh, he needs time to ponder.
Because like after our discussion, I've kind of like come to some thoughts about it.
Had some realizations.
I had some realizations. I just like, yeah. I'm just thinking about it. I don't know. Like it's hard.
I've got mine locked in.
You got yours locked in.
2.
Not doing that again. This is no Days in the Wake. Apparently, that's a 9 out of 10. They're certified. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with my gut.
Certified green.
Okay. 5,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6.
I knew you were gonna put 6.
He knew it,
I considered
folks.
moving to 6.
He knew it.
Am I just way more generous than you?